Hello there YouTube. As you may have guessed by the title of this video, I have officially entered the Great Guitar Build-Off Kit Category 2022. We'll be referring to it as GGBO for short, just in case you wondered what I was talking about. For those who don't know, the Great Guitar Build-Off started during the first UK lockdown in 2020 by Ben Crow and Crimson Guitars. It originally started as a YouTube Builder Invitational, mainly to help people not worry about being inside all the time, give them something to watch, whilst also raising money for charity. Within moments of that announcement video going live, people in the comments were asking if they could build along. So this spawned the unofficial competition where viewers and builders entered with a chance of winning a select amount of prizes. The competition ran again in 2021, where even more people entered, and there were some unreal creations. I followed the competition from the first iteration in 2020, and my personal favourite builds from last year have to be the Guitar Tune by CS Guitars and the Back to the Future DeLorean Telecaster by Mark to the Guitars. I apologise if I said that wrong. So I wanted to enter the Great Guitar Build-Off in 2021. However, my skills were not quite there yet at the time, so they were very limited, which would mean I'd be able to produce a limited amount of stuff. So I waited patiently. I started planning and designing my guitar, along with getting my skills to where I knew I'd be able to create something good. And now I have entered the kit category of GGBO. So my original plan for this build was to do an offset SG, very similar to an ESP Viper. But then one night after work, I started to think, I'm like, should I do something different? So my first thought was to do a 7-string Firebird style guitar, which is an idea that a friend gave me. Then I sat there and realised, hang on a minute, Scott, you've not even made a 6-string yet, so 7 strings slightly too far out your skill set. For now, I have had to design that guitar now. So whilst I was looking through the rest of the designs that I had, there was one that really stuck with me, and I've now divulged and changed my entire plan to this style body. So my build will be my take on a BC Rich Mockingbird. I've always loved that shape of guitar. The only thing that I wasn't really sure about was the sheer amount of controls. But that just might be me getting a bit confused because I'm only used to having a switch and volume and tone. So probably just me. However, I am going to be putting some interesting features in with the pickups. I've managed to find some really cool looking hardware and pickups. And I'm actually going to do a stained finish. So a lot of my guitars, especially the kit ones, they've all been solid finish. It was mainly because a lot of them, the first one had very obvious joints on it and it just would not have looked right. So this is actually going to be my first stained guitar fully. But at first I was going to do the actual design based off of a Les Paul template. So on the body I would just draw the Les Paul template onto it, and then I'd add the extra little bits that make it the Mockingbird. But then by chance, just whilst I was just scrolling through eBay trying to find stuff, I actually stumbled across and ordered a Mockingbird full template. That has now been posted today, so that should be with me very soon. As soon as I get that, I will be updating it on my social media accounts, so keep your eyes peeled for that one. So, as I'm using a prefabricated neck, this is the reason why I've been entered, but I'm entered into the kit category. So the rules are, if you buy anything prefabricated, then you're part of the kit build, which is absolutely fine. Considering that I've only just made my first body blank, the neck's just not in the cards for this year. You never know what's going to happen this year. I will be using a 24 fret maple neck with a rosewood board. Not entirely sure if it is actually rosewood. I will put an image of it up in this side of the screen here. And it is 24 and 3/4 inch scale length, which for me is a little bit different because a lot of the 24 fret guitars that I have, they're normally 25.5 inch scale length. So this is going to be a little bit interesting for me, but I'm really looking forward to using that neck. So when doing my practice build, I realised that I need a lot more practice with hand tools to be able to do a two-piece body. I found that I took off a little bit too much material and I didn't really fix the problem per se. So I definitely need a lot more practice. So for this build, I'm going to be using a pre-jointed blank. Now, I found some really beautiful ones out there. Annoyingly, on recording this video, I found a Roco body blank which looked fantastic, but unfortunately it's gone out of stock. However, in doing this, I've now looked into it a little bit more and realised that I should really go with sort of an ash style body because of having a maple neck, so they'll blend a little bit better. But once I found the Roco blank, I also stumbled across a Zebrano 8mm cap. It was also pre-jointed and it just would not get out of my head. It looked fantastic. I shall also put an image of that up on the screen. Now I'm hopefully going to be able to get this. If not, luckily the seller has got a couple of other different caps on it. So I will post an update to my socials and a video on the update if I do make any changes to the wood that I use. But I'm hoping that this is going to work because the ash body with a Zebrano wood cap is going to look fantastic under a stain. So through doing all my kit builds, my maintenance on my guitars and a few other bits, I've slowly realised and come to terms with the fact my soldering skills, they aren't the best. I can do a switch, and that's about it. Now, I don't want to do what I always do, which I go into more detail on the actual builds. So I started looking into something different. Now, I managed to find harnesses from a company called Obsidian Way. Now, this is a company that I found way back in the beginning when I first started doing the maintenance on stuff. But it was very hard for me to find in the UK. And it was very similar to the issue I have with kits that aren't in the UK. It would cost me a lot in shipping, and then I'd have to pay the customs fees once they get here. Thankfully, I managed to order and have it delivered from El Toro Music this Les Paul Custom SC60s wiring harness. Now you'll notice that these are all split coil parts. They're also CTS parts, very nice capacitors, and the beauty part about this as well, make my life a lot easier. It came with the output jack, already soldered, and a very nice switch that was also already soldered. And you'll notice that with the coil split ability, that's still going to give me the ability to make a lot more sounds out of just two humbuckers. With this in mind, I started looking for humbucker pickups, and I found a really nice set of humbuckers from a company called Geiger in what they call a rainbow chameleon finish. So what I mean by the rainbow chameleon effect, I will put an image up on the screen just here for you of the pickups themselves. And whilst I was looking for them, I also managed to find a lot of the matching hardware. The only parts that they didn't have, so they will be slightly different, are the output jack plate, the strap locks, a truss rod cover. I'm still umming and ahhing whether to put one on or not. But what I've managed to decide to do is I will do these in gold because I'm going to add a brass nut, which is something I've never done before, so I'm very intrigued to see how it sounds, how it works, and actually working with brass as well, because then it's something different that I've never done before. Rather than trying to show you the image on the screen, you might not get the effects properly. However, I actually bought them for a build that's in process at the minute, and I actually have taken these off. So these would be the control knobs for them. So as you can see, the finish on it is unbelievable. And also, now these ones are 6 in line, but they do have 3x3, which is what I'm planning on using. So a nice set of locking tuners. And the dedication to the craft by this company, this might be a little bit difficult to see, but they actually colour match the screw as well, which is something that most people probably wouldn't think of. And that was one of the first things that really got me about this, is they went to the effort of colour matching the screws. Now, as this video is being recorded and will go live, unfortunately, majority of these parts are out of stock on Amazon. It's the best place I've found for them. So I have a feeling that might be restocking by the supplier, shipping issues. So with that in mind, just in case that doesn't happen and I can't get those, there is another, obviously I will be able to use the gold hardware that I'm using for the rest of it to match it in. Now luckily, the first iteration of my kit build, I still have the machine heads from that, and I almost completely forgot that I had them. So I actually have a set of gold Grover 3x3, so that will save me having to buy those, so that's even better. Also looking through my spares, I actually have 3 spare gold control knobs, so I would possibly use those. And along with gold pickup surrounds, and they are bridge and neck respectively. So I will be ordering the wood at the end of this month, and then I will be moving on to the hardware. So I will be posting on social media any updates on which way I go. So keep your eyes peeled for that one. So as I stated in the beginning, this guitar is going to be a stained finish. As I say, I don't want to hide this beautiful wood under a solid paint. So I'm not going to ruin the surprise about the actual final finish. However, I will show you the stains that I'm going to be using. So it's going to be a combination of these 3 stains from Crimson Guitars. I've ordered quite a few stains from those guys and done a lot of practices, and I absolutely love these. They're brilliant. And to finish it as well, again, I normally use a spray-based lacquer, so for a change, and also because I think it's going to make the wood look even better, I also have the Crimson Guitars penetrating finishing oil, so that is going to be interesting. And that's all for this one. So the GGBO site is linked in the description below. All the profiles for everybody went live as of today, so it's on the public forum section. It was insane looking at it myself earlier, going on the kit category and actually seeing my logo on there. That was unreal to me. I'm really excited and looking forward to doing this. There's also more information about their mission statement and a lot more detail about than what I put in the beginning of this video, so please head over there, support all the builders. They are going to be doing some fantastic work and they deserve all the credit because it is fantastic what they can produce. As always, my social links are down in the description below, so feel free to give me a follow on there. If you like the video, give us a like and subscribe to the channel. That's all from me, so I'll see you all in the next one.